Obviously, really, really disappointing for all of us. A lot of reasons, a lot of things out in front of us. And we didn't perform. The whole objective today was to come out, create our own energy, start fast. And probably the number one thing we didn't do was come out, create energy, and start fast. And not just because you say you're going to do it, do you do it, right? I mean, even if you focus on it all week, hey, we got to bring our own energy. We got to make sure that, we don't allow what happened last week and the environment and those kinds of things to affect you this week. And as you look at it, I mean, we did a really poor job, I think, to start the game. Defensively, offensively, finding ways to create some things. Come out the second half, at least find a way to have a spark. Start to play a little bit better, but then can't capitalize on any of the other situations that we find a way to create. It comes down to turnovers. They created one, pretty eerie, similar, probably to week 2, in a lot of situations, and then ball's on the ground a couple more times, and we don't have a chance to make a bounce or to get it, to find a way to get it, and that probably comes down to it is the difference in the ball game.
Jesse, go ahead.
Luke, how much is what is happening now a product of injuries or a product of simply lack of execution?
It's execution. It's no excuse. I mean, these guys we're all here for a reason. We got plenty of guys that have taken a lot of reps, and maybe you don't know their names as well because they haven't played as much on Saturday. But we've got a job to do is to prepare them, and we've got a job to do is to get them out there and put them in positions where they can, do what they need to do. And we didn't do a good enough job of that.
Luke, you're down 17-14 at the 33. Is Vacos healthy, or did you just decide to, punt it and rest on your defense there?
It was a little bit of both. I mean, he says he's fine, but we didn't put him in a situation to try the 60-yard or whatever it was right before half, and so there's some of those things that are going through your head. I also got to find a way. We got to find a way to make some fourth downs as well. You're right there at the edge, of everything, right? I mean, the kick line is the 33, maybe going that way, and it's right at the edge of that, and those are decisions that I guess I'll continue to think about over and over again. Could have been a bit different, but it was a decision we made at the time.
So is he going to go fully healthy?
Yeah, I don't know if he did a little something before. They ended up saying that he was all right and he was up and ready to go. But that maybe plays a little bit into the mind of putting a guy in a situation where he can be successful.
Okay. Luke, you've said multiple times you want this team to play its best at the end of the year. Obviously, it's not happening. Is that the frustrating part here? Is that it's not trending the way you want it to?
Yeah, I think that's what keeps you laying awake at night. At least it does me. Is are you finding a way to play your best ball at the end of the year? Are you trending in the direction of getting better? And there's a lot of factors to getting better, but consistency has a lot to do with it. We talked about, you said it, execution has a lot to do with it. If you go out there and you get beat, you get beat. It stinks, but it's a part of the game. Give them credit. They battled their butts off. They made some big plays. They did a really good job at creating energy, and we didn't. So, is it going the other direction? No, I just think that it's not growing, and I think that's where. I think all of us get a little bit frustrated, and you want to see some things continue to grow. And right now, it's, we keep shooting ourselves in the foot with some of the similar situations, and we're just not able to overcome those situations right now.
Back to that, the past couple of weeks, you've had delayed game calls down in scoring position. Would you have liked Brady, obviously Brady to snap it, but do you want to call timeout there?
No, in the situation where we were, again, we're in field goal range, we're in good position. The way the game is, you try as much you can to conserve your timeouts for the second half. High in sight, maybe. I really felt like we were going to snap it, and for some reason, again, we didn't. And there's a lot of factors that go into that, getting the protections and stuff like that. But the compounding factors, then you give up a 15-yard sack on the next play, and then you second-guess yourself for sure. If I had it back, right now I'd say call a timeout, keep yourself in 3rd and 6 or whatever it was, and hopefully be in a lot better position, but we didn't, and put ourselves in a lot tougher situation.
Cool.
Luke, you talked about the defense, kind of figuring out a little bit in the second half, but in the first half, what was it particularly on third down? They're able to make some big plays when you get them in usually advantageous positions for a defense.
Yeah, I think they were 5 of 8 on third and 7+, maybe even 5 for 5 in the first 5 of them. It is a little bit of making plays. I mean, they threw the ball at the field side flat, made some plays. We missed a tackle. They fall forward for another 3 or 4 yards on the first down. I mean, it's going to happen. We understand that. We want to continue to apply pressure. I can't remember all of them. I just know that the first half in particular, the third and longs, the 6, 7+, we were not very good. And, I don't know exactly why, but, a few of those are some really good plays on their part and, our ability to not make the play when it comes our way. There's a few of those out there today, I know, and supposedly defensively on third down in particular, because I think first and second down we played pretty darn well.
Jesse?
You mentioned the defense in some of those longer yardage situations, but on the whole, these last 4 games, I don't think they've given up more than 24 points. Do you feel good about the progress that the defense has made to put you guys in a position to have a chance?
Yeah, I think they're playing solid. I think that but ultimately every game, every week comes down to outplaying the other team's defense, and that's kind of how you're measured. And I think they're getting better. I do. I think that we have to continue to get a little bit more creative. Obviously today we didn't do a good enough job on third down, but I think that I think they really are. I think they're gelling. I think they're meshing. I know it's late in the year and you would expect them to, but I think they're putting us in some positions where we got a chance, but we're going to have to take it at another level just with how everything's going right now.
Couple more, Jim.
I acknowledge the situations are completely different. I acknowledge that up front, but does this feel anyway like the first year at Cincinnati? Because I know you don't like losing. I know you probably expect success right off the bat. I mean, is it starting to feel that way in any way?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to compare, to be honest with you. I was a little hard, afterwards, in particular, just, on the entire group in some ways. But I also understand they've been through a lot, from last year, maybe even the year before, and the ups and the downs. And we just can't continue to, revert back maybe into some of the things that, we've always done. And finding ways to finish is what this game is all about. And, regardless of we didn't play well enough, we all can see that, but we still had an opportunity to find a way to win the game at the end. And that becoming a reoccurring theme for us. And as a coach, I got to find a way to get us over that hump. It's not just on making plays. It's on, hey, what's the recipe to finding ways to finish? And we haven't done a good enough job of that.
Cool.
You guys have been pretty typically good at the last 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 of the second. Let you get the touchdown today. Was it frustrating because you had finally gotten some momentum, kind of woken up a little bit, and then they go out and make a play like that?
Yeah, it goes back to some of those third down plays, and that's where. They had seen them do it during the year. They'd made some plays. Obviously, the receiving crew is a good crew. I mean, they've got some size, and they gave them some opportunities, and they made some plays. And yeah, that momentum kind of drive right there before the end of the half was probably what sticks in your mind as much as anything. I know there was a lot of things in that first half on third down, but ultimately it comes down to that last 4 minutes of the first half after we had created a little bit of energy.
Zach, how close was Tanner to going today? And maybe some of the other guys like Chim Ray and Braylon.
Chim warmed up. Tanner warmed up a little bit. It's hopefully it's getting close, but it's hard to tell, right? When guys don't practice much during the week, it's really difficult to say you're going to put them out there for their safety as well as for obviously the execution of what it is that we do. But so I don't know that they were really close. There was a few guys obviously didn't make the trip, and then obviously some guys that weren't dressed as well.
Just to clarify real quick, on Pecos, you mentioned the 33-yard line kind of being the...
Well, based on going which direction it was there.
Is there a certain distance that you would have felt comfortable with him knowing that maybe he wasn't?
Well, I mean, that's right there at the lines. We usually go out before the game and kind of figure it out, on both directions based on some conditions and things like that. But we haven't been as successful in some of the extra long ones. And I think sometimes I don't like to put them in situations where they can't be successful, because when you need them down the stretch or at the very end, I mean, obviously that's pretty close to the end. You want them to be at their best, and you want them to have the right frame of mind. And so the one before half is probably why I just didn't feel like it was the right thing to do.